Hello and welcome to Brier Rock Cemetery. Today we are going Crypt 2.0. Can we make it even better? From this to this. If you like what I do, please like, subscribe, share, and comment.
So here's everything that you're going to need to get started. You're going to need a projector. This projector is a high lumen and it's 1080p, and that's all you really need. Don't go overboard. You just need something with a high lumen, because the higher the lumen, the brighter the projector. This one I got off of Amazon around maybe the 150 range. You're going to want a tripod extendable, something that you can adjust that has a Y and X axis, because you want to have pinpoint accuracy what you're projecting to. This one will go down and up depending on what you want to do with it. You're going to want a flash drive. The flash drive is going to store all your media in the back of the projector. This is a 16 gigabyte. This handles all my Atmos FX shows. So, you know, the bigger that you have, the more you're going to be able to store down the line. And I suggest getting digital downloads. Don't use the DVDs. Okay, here's your grommet kit. What you're going to do is you're going to use this piece, and it's going to take out a piece of fabric. It's got a cutter on it. And then you're going to have one on one side, and this is the male, and this is the female. You're going to put it through on each side, and then use a hammer to hammer it in. And then now it's your choice of fabrics. Okay, so this is your projection material. This is a white base projection material that you can see. Now they have another one. This is called the Halogen projection material, and you can't see this at night, which is nice because that's the effect that you want. And in a second here, I'm going to show you that you're going to have to mount your projector vertical for this, which means this way. So you're going to have to put this on top of this base. So you're going to have to create something. In a second here, I'm just going to create something simple, and I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, so here's your mount that came off of your tripod. Now, what you want to do here is you want to take your projector. All projectors are going to be different. Okay, this has got to mount like this, vertical, because you want like a window, or you don't want the window. You want the door type projection. So you can leave it like this, but it's haphazard. You know, it's like, it's wobbly. So you kind of have to build something. What I did is I measured each side, and I created a wood base that I'm going to throw on here and then put the projector in. Now, if you do mount this vertically, I like to have it where the access panel is over here so that I can access it. Now, you may have to actually flip the image 90 degrees because your projector might not project the image right side up going this way, so you might have to flip it. Now, if you're familiar with Photoshop or if familiar with like Filmora or some video editing software, you can actually rotate the image. You know, like you can rotate it, and that's what I do. When I put all of my files on my USB drive, I stagger them, and I put them all into Filmora so that you don't see the repetitive same ghost 5 scenes to go to the next ghost. So I have one scene with one ghost, one scene with another, and I make a whole, like, you know, storyboard with it, and then I flip the image, and all of them play all on one file. So I'm going to show you what I came up with. And here's what it looks like once it's inside. Super tight on this lip. Try to get a projector base that has kind of like a lip on it. And this thing's not going anywhere upside down. It's just pinned in there. If you wanted to, I guess you could put another brace here and here, but that's like overkill. So what happens is you're just going to take your projector and slide it right inside there. Like that. And now this thing is pretty secure. and then all you gotta do is just screw it back on top. And there it is. And like I said, easy access over here for the panel, and in the back you have your on-off switch, your AC power cord, and your USB and everything else. So it makes it really easy. Don't have to worry about it falling or, you know, just balancing it on there. So now we're going to move on to the screen. So the next order of business is getting your fabric onto the back of the mausoleum or archway. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize the grommets that are already on here, and if not, if you're just using a sheet, you can just probably put it up and then mark where you're going to put the grommets, because even with this up, this is going to be way too big. So right up here on the top, I installed a screw. So I'm going to try to fasten something here, the grommets, and then stretch it around and cover this whole area right here. So this is what it looks like when you're done. I took one side and I started at the far side and I put it on the second grommet, and then I wrapped it around, and on this side I have more screws that go into the other grommets. I made sure that I pulled it really taut and then put my screws in. I have one down there, I have one over here in the middle, and I have it wrapped around over here. Now on the top here, I'm just going to take a 3M sticky and put it on the back of here, and then I'm just going to push it up against here so you can't see it from the front. And what happens is you're left with all this slack on the one side. If you don't mind, you can actually just kind of wrap this up and maybe tuck it behind. But what I'm going to do is, if you notice there's grommets on this side, I'm just going to pull this tight. I'm going to put a screw here, and I'll put one screw down at the bottom, and this will allow it to be taut. You could put a screw in there and just have the fabric in there, but I'm going to put grommets in there because it's going to rip the fabric. And then what I suggest you do is use scissors, like fabric shears, or just take a razor. Just kind of mark where you're going to do it, like put a piece of tape here as an X so you know where to put the grommet. You don't need many, one or two. And if you notice in the front, see, that's where the sticky tape's going to go in the back there, so you don't see that kind of ridge. It'll make it look seamless. So yeah, you want it as tight as possible, because the tighter you get this, the more realistic it's going to look. So this is after you cut the side. It doesn't have to look pretty. You can pleat it if you want. I'm not going to bother. What I did is I just put some electrical tape here where I'm going to put the grommets. I have 3 of them. There's one there, and one at the bottom. So we're going to take this downstairs and we're going to install the grommets onto it. So when you're about to install your grommets, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find your tape. You're going to remove your tape, and you're just going to cut a small hole. So here's your cut hole. There are cutters that come with a grommet kit. I just find it easier. This side is a cutter. You can put it in here and hammer it and make the hole. I find it easier just to make a small incision. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a male, and then you're going to put this underneath. Okay, so with it coming through this side, next you're going to take a female piece like this, and you slide it over the top. And your kit should come with a punch. Like, this goes underneath, and it rests underneath when you punch it in. So now it's resting underneath, and you take your punch, and all you do is hammer it about 5 or 6 times. And there you go. You have your brand new place to fasten it to. Now it gets a little bit complicated because you don't know all the pieces, but like I said, this is the cutter, and then when your fabric comes through here, you can just take it out here, and then you have your male, and then your female, and then your setting tool, and then your puncher. The puncher just goes on top like that, boom, and then you can knock these out in no time. So here we go. This is it all complete. The grommets are now on the side to fasten, and the screws up top I put the sticky tape, double-sided, and now you have it nice and taut. So there is going to be your projected image, which you can see through, and at night you won't even see this. It'll look totally seamless. So we're going to fire something up just to show you what it will look like. I'm projecting from behind. So this is what it's going to look like during the daytime. I figured give you a daytime shot because you're not going to see this at night. And what I do is I stagger these files because there's 5 different versions of this girl, and instead of seeing 5 of her, I take it into a video editor and I'll take out the things that I'm going to use for this because some things won't work, like the trick or treat Atmos, and the clowns obviously aren't going to work here. So I'm going to take all the ghostly stuff, stick it on a file, and then have her play once, something else play once, something else play once, so that it's not as routine or redundant. So the only other thing I could suggest is I'm projecting from the back right now at a keystone. The keystone correction, like I told you before, it comes in at an angle, and when it hits the image you can rotate it so it's keystoned and it actually comes on straight. Now if you do it from the front, you have an opportunity to angle it up, keystone it down, and you can hide it behind a tombstone or whatever. So that's basically the only thing that you have to do is just tweak it. You got to run around and get the height right, get the angle right, and that's it. So I'm going to show you what it looks like at night. So this is what it looks like all completed. I really love this thing, and it's going to get a lot of really good scares, and people are going to be definitely watching this. So I'm going to get a couple different angles. So this was part 1 of a series that I'm doing. It's called 2.0, and I'm going to start enhancing props. I'm going to start doing other things with this. I'm thinking about making it pneumatic. I'm thinking about making it shake, lights underneath. So that'll be another part. So I want to thank everybody that's been subscribing and sharing and liking. It means a lot to me, and I hope that your Halloween season's incredible this year, even with all this rigmarole going on. So I really hope you have a nice holiday season, and happy haunting, everybody.